David's Saturday AI Thoughts, Episode 9, 18th April 2026, The Proxy Break. I've never been good at writing. Numbers and logic were my passion. Words have always been hard for me. In book publishing, executives used to reply to my emails with notes on my commas, ignoring my arguments. Not everyone judged me for it. But some always did, and I knew it. My excuse came from Zhuangzi, a Chinese philosopher from the 4th century BCE. Words exist because of meaning. Once you've got the meaning, you can forget the words. Get over yourselves, I'd think. Look at the meaning. Using AI is getting me in trouble in a new way. A friend of 30 years messaged me last weekend. The newsletter reads like AI wrote it, he said, and with the pace of change, at some point he won't be able to tell. Do a whole edition about it, he said. Good idea. It's a topic I know most of you are wrestling with too. When you use AI to help you write and when you receive content from colleagues you know have done the same. I probed. His anxiety wasn't about sentence structure, it was about whether I'd done the thinking. The conventional story. Good wording was taken as a proxy for good thinking for centuries, but AI broke it. Half right, AI broke it. But it was never reliable. Good writers have always dressed up thin ideas in beautiful prose. Good writing was never a proxy for originality either. We've all heard smart people recite theories we recognize from The Economist or that surely came from their MBA professor. The natural response to a broken instrument is to flip it. If Polish no longer signals thinking, sounds like AI must signal no thinking. Most have already made the move. They're missing some great ideas. I saw an email last week signed off, "Not written by AI" in capital letters. Same error as the publishing executives I worked with, pointed the other way. They took poor commas for poor thinking. Those capitals ask you to take "not AI" for good thinking. Both confuse the surface for what's underneath. A professor friend calls the new cadence AI iambic pentameter. Student pitches sound identical not in words but in rhythm. He distrusts the rhythm regardless of whether the student thought. The new proxy is as unreliable as the old one. Sounds like AI might mean unchecked slop. It might mean someone who did the thinking, used AI to express it, and checked every sentence. You have to evaluate thinking, not wording. My friend was right, soon you won't be able to tell. The UK AI Security Institute assesses that frontier model capabilities are doubling every 4 months. A year ago it was 8. Feed a model your own work and it writes more like you with less editing each time. The gap the reader used to rely on is closing faster, not slower. Get ready for preferring AI writing over even the best human writing. A study published at CHI 2026, the main human-computer interaction conference, pitted 28 MFA writers against 3 language models emulating 50 award-winning authors. With standard prompting, trained experts preferred the human writing 83% of the time. Fine-tuned the model on each author's complete works, and the preference flipped. Experts picked AI writing 62% of the time. The researchers interviewed the MFA judges afterwards. Several described an identity crisis. I'd suggest 2 tests. Quality. Is the argument any good? Not is the prose good, but does it hold under pressure? A client unbundled this explicitly last week, sending work back to a colleague with "the content is right, fix the words." They judge the argument first. Most don't. Ownership. Did the person do the thinking? Did they check every claim and will they stand behind it? Our CEO principle that you should check, edit and own any AI output was built for this. Google PM interviews have moved here too. Candidates build a working prototype in 45 minutes while someone watches. Zapier's hiring rubric codifies the principle. A rough result with strong reasoning beats a polished one with no visible process. Deloitte shows what failing these tests looks like, twice in 2 months. And a $440,000 report for the Australian government fabricated citations. A $1.6 million report for a Canadian province the same. Their response to the Canadian case, they firmly stand behind the recommendations. Fake sources, real advice. They stand by quality, but without ownership. Use AI for breadth. Depth is ours. You'll never know how much of what a person writes came from them. See that as freeing. Zhuangzi wanted readers who could forget the words once they had the meaning. AI frees us to do it. My friend asked if I wrote this. It was the wrong question. The right one is whether I did the thinking. Here are 3 things worth knowing this week. Number 1. AI cover letters killed the signal that cover letters used to carry. When Freelancer.com added an option to generate cover letters with AI, researchers tracked what happened. Before language models, there was a clear positive slope. Better cover letters predicted better hiring outcomes. After the feature launched, the line went flat. Once polish became free, it stopped measuring anything useful. Economists call this signal destruction. It's Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes trivially easy to game, it ceases to be a measure. Cover letters aren't the last signal to fall. The same logic applies wherever AI can cheaply replicate a previously costly quality indicator. Number 2. Snap cut 1,000 jobs. AI already writes 65% of their new code. Snap laid off 1,000 employees, 16% of its full-time workforce, and closed 300 open roles. AI agents already generate over 65% of Snap's new code. Expected savings, over $500 million annualized. Way beyond a pilot or an aspiration. Evan Spiegel is betting on smaller, highly focused teams with expanded AI agent capabilities. For leaders still framing AI as a productivity tool that supplements existing teams, Snap is a data point that the substitution model has arrived. Number 3. Letting AI do your work erodes your confidence. Pushing back strengthens it. A study of nearly 2,000 working adults found that people who accepted AI answers without much modification reported lower confidence in their own reasoning and weaker ownership over their ideas. People who pushed back, editing, questioning, and rejecting AI suggestions reported greater confidence and stronger ownership. The key variable wasn't which tool they used, it was how actively they engaged with it. Passive delegation erodes judgment. Active collaboration strengthens it. Gartner's data tells a similar story from a different angle. Of 5.4 hours saved by AI per week, just 0.6 go to reducing hours worked. The rest gets absorbed into more work, much of it without improving outcomes.
3 things to try. When helping someone find AI use cases, ask what keeps them awake, not how AI can help. One produces a polite, dull list. One produces a bold list of creative use cases. The difference is the question being asked. How can AI help? Invites safe answers. What keeps you awake at night? Surfaces real problems that happen to have AI solutions. Concrete, named, immediately applicable. Let the model research you before you write its instructions. I sat with a senior leader this week who is getting great results from AI despite not having filled in his custom instructions. Don't make this mistake. It helps every single response to be better for you. Rather than manually writing them, start a new chat and type, "I am your name. I work at your organization. Search the web to learn more about me and write me a set of instructions I can save that would cause you to work well with me in future." Revisit it regularly. Most people write something generic and never look back. Find out where your AI value actually sits. Answer 5 questions about where you think AI value is for your team or your organization. Then 5 about how much of that value you've captured so far. You get a chart showing you where the opportunities are. It's where I think most firms are. Capturing about 16% of the value they can see, with almost everything still on the table. Everything stays completely confidential on your machine, but I'd love to see what you come up with if you're willing to share.
What readers said. Last week's What a Day Can Do drew 14 thoughtful replies. The dominant thread, the shift from training individuals to building shared team tools. One reader pushed it furthest. Forget teaching people to use AI. Use your precious time with experts to teach AI to do the work they want done. The thread amongst readers on LinkedIn this week is the gap between polished output and genuine thinking. Brett Danaher, a professor of economics and analytics at Chapman University, coined a phrase for the sameness creeping into every pitch deck. AI Ambic Pentameter. Helen Field, a transformation leader at Ellis Sitzkes Consulting, a strategy consulting firm, asks the question that's been following me all week. Delegate tasks, not responsibility. Nick Graham, founder of Vertimus, a research and analytics consultancy, argues that insights teams are still shipping decks when they should be shipping decisions. And Pavi Gupta, a market research leader writing the Infinity Growth Loop series, warns that the same tools making research easier are generating what he calls insight slop.
That's it for David's Saturday AI Thoughts this week. This is a faithful reading of the email edition. The full written version with all the links and sources, plus 15 bits that didn't fit, full reader letters, and community reactions is at stedman.ai. Thanks for listening.